Wake up. That halftime performance was a message. He did that for us.
We are still on Kendrick Lamar, you guys. Yesterday, I posted a video, raw reaction of people watching the performance and all of that and everything people have been saying about Kendrick Lamar's performance. But one of the things that is very common, or one of the things that people are talking about when it comes to his performance during the Super Bowl is the symbolism embedded in his performance. And there have been so many comments of people like, oh, what is this symbolism that you guys are talking about? Can you please explain to me what does Uncle Sam mean? What does this mean? The flag year, the division year, the coming together year, the forming a United States flag year. What does that actually mean? Don't worry, I have put together videos that best explain the symbolism that people have been talking about that was presented to millions of people, Kendrick Lamar's halftime Super Bowl performance. I have put together this video, so I don't want us to waste around at all because it's a long one. So without wasting much time, let's get right into it.
Wake up. That halftime performance was a message. He did that for us. Now, some of y'all missed the message because y'all was too busy talking about Drake, okay? Listen, when he said the culture was being divided, 40 acres and a mule, do y'all understand that that was a promise that was never fulfilled? When he said they rigged the game, but you can't fake influence, when that man said the revolution is being televised, when he had the U.S. flag full of black and brown people, and then it divided, when that man said it is bigger than music. He also told y'all to turn the televisions off and y'all didn't understand. Y'all kept watching. Listen, Kendrick understood the assignment and he said, right time, wrong guy. They not like us. Listen, I need my people to get it together because y'all missed it. Y'all missed it.
This video is for Samuel Jackson and Samuel Jackson only, and I'm going to do my best to get through it without crying, but I cannot make any promises. But I want to explain why his role as Uncle Sam hit me so hard, why it was my favorite part of the entire performance, and why it's making me emotional. Now, while his entire performance as Uncle Sam was stellar, it was jarring, it was challenging, it was so many things, there is one line that he said that has really hit a lot of us deeply, and I know it hit me deeply. And that was the deduct one life line. Now, for those who don't know, Uncle Samuel Jackson has been about that life. He has been a part of the civil rights movement. He was a part of the Black Panther movement. He has done protests, and he has seen, touched, and felt the hard work our ancestors endured for us to have our freedoms that we have today, if you can say we have freedoms. But the reason why the deduct one lifeline hit me so deeply is because that was the tail end of him saying, oh, you got your buddies with you. Cultural cheat code. Scorekeeper, deduct one life. You know who I thought about? MLK Jr. Us being a community, they don't like that. That is the cultural cheat code. So what do they do whenever we get together in camaraderie and remind ourselves of who we are? They deduct one life. Did y'all know that Samuel Jackson was an usher at Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral? This is where I get a little emotional because who better to talk about playing the game than an elder Black man whose hands have touched the result of us trying to play and beat the game? Who better to talk about playing the game than a man who has been around and seen it all, done it all, and tried to navigate it all? Who better than to tell you how to play the white man's game than a Black man who has survived it, you know? Samuel Jackson, if you ever get to see this, I hope you understand and know just how revered and appreciated you are in the Black community. And as much as it saddens me that even in you being an elder, you still are saying the same things and fighting for the same thing you have spent your entire life fighting for, I hope you know that your role in this halftime show, I don't think I even fully grasp the impact that it has and will have for you.
So we're about to get into a deep dive of all of the symbolism that was shown throughout Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. And we are going to start from the beginning with Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam was used in the early 19th century as a depiction of America personified. He was a representation of American pride and patriotism, but also propaganda when it came to recruitment and war. When it comes to accuracy, Kendrick Lamar could have easily chosen a white man to play Uncle Sam and to narrate the performance. But instead, he chose Samuel L. Jackson, who has also played this role in Django as an Uncle Tom. And in the movie, he was in love with his white slave owner. And Uncle Toms within culture, especially Black culture, are Black men who are not only obedient, but also uphold white supremacy. And so we see perfect examples of that through Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, Nelly. And so going back to Samuel L. Jackson here, a Black man dressed in all American gear, I think is a clear depiction of they're not like us. It doesn't matter what your skin tone is. And then also going to Welcome to the Great American Game is a double entendre because we're obviously watching the Super Bowl, but he's talking about the game that is America and being Black in America. And so to start his performance, Kendrick is standing on top of a 1987 Buick, a Grand National GNX, which is also his album name, GNX. And not only that, this is also clear representation of his upbringing in Compton, but also the car culture in Compton as well. He starts his performance off with a freestyle where he talks about no hugs and no handshakes because he's not playing nice, and that you wouldn't get the picture if he sat you for hours at the Louvre. I think that represents the political climate that we're in now, whereas there's no time or no room for niceties right now. Either you get it or you don't. At the end of his freestyle, Kendrick Lamar says, "The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy," which is a play off of Jill Scott Heron's "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised" song, which was a critique on the American media saying that they only focused on propaganda, consumerism, and entertainment. But in order for real change, people had to step out of their homes for liberation, for protest, and for freedom. You had to be actively involved in order to fight for justice. So with Kendrick saying the revolution will be televised, you chose the right time but the wrong guy, is him saying that you chose the perfect person for this performance. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Kendrick then performs Squabble Up, and before he could even finish, Samuel L. Jackson comes in and says, "No, no, no, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto." Kendrick Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. And this is clear conditioning within white supremacy and America, which is that Black people should be docile, Black people should be quiet, Black people should be grateful for scraps. And playing the game goes back to being obedient. Kendrick Lamar then performs Humble, Be Humble, Sit Down, with his dancers dressed as the American flag and a division between the flag that represents a clear division within America. We've barely scratched the surface and this video is getting long, so follow for part 2. After Humble, Kendrick goes right into DNA. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. And that means it doesn't matter how much conditioning and how much brainwashing America places amongst Black people, greatness and resilience will always be the result. Yeah, there's trauma, but there's always triumph. Right after DNA, Kendrick gets into Euphoria, which is one of his diss tracks towards Drake. And Kendrick did not waste any time with being petty because he's already wearing an A minor necklace. He's letting it be known. After that, Kendrick goes on to perform Man at the Garden, where he's underneath the streetlight and surrounded by his boys. After Man at the Garden, Samuel L. Jackson comes on to say, I see you brought your homeboys with you. The old culture cheat code. Scorekeeper, deduct one life. Black people are highly surveillanced in America. The obsession with Black people and Black culture is unreal. So when he says to deduct one life, that to me means to unalive, get rid of Black cultural leaders such as Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, and the list can go on and on. After that, Kendrick goes on to perform Peekaboo. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. Kendrick then goes on to talk to his Black female dancers where he says, I want to make a move. I want to play their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. He's definitely talking about that white woman Drake. And also keep note that on the field, you also see an actual game controller, the PlayStation game controller. Kendrick then slows it down by performing his songs with SZA, and Samuel L. Jackson comes out shortly after and says, "That's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants, nice and calm. Don't F this up," and Kendrick goes on to perform Not Like Us. He starts off by saying, 40 acres and a mule, this is bigger than the music. After slavery was abolished, 40 acres and a mule was a promise that was made to free slaves from the government, which was 40 acres of land and a mule, so that people had their own governance of their lands and their resources, but that promise was never made. Kendrick goes on to say, yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. Black people, Black culture are the most influential people on the planet. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. This goes outside and beyond of just America. Black people, Black culture is influential. As he's performing Not Like Us, his dancers lay out like this on the field and underneath the streetlight to represent the outline of Black bodies that have been unalived. Kendrick then continues to troll Drake on one of the largest stages on national television. And I already spoke about this in my very first video, so you could go check that out and the symbols in that. But this is what I'm also living for. All in all, I hope that you learned something from this 2-part series. And also, if there's anything that you notice, leave it in the comments. I want to keep the conversation going. Kendrick is a genius. The symbolism is iconic, and I'm just so proud.
Kendrick is so calculated. Man, he's the best rap anthropologist I've ever seen in my life, because he breaks things down to a way that's so precise, it's scary. His references in the first second, using Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam, but also having that be a homage to Do the Right Thing of Samuel Jackson being the radio show host at the same time, and also connecting that back to The Revolution Would Not Be Televised, Jill Scott Heron, right? Knowing that America is in a crazy place within its political scene, and the subjugation of Black people is still present, as it has always been, and the rise of fascists, disease, all of that. And being able to also give entertainment, but education for those who know, for those who are part of the in-group, is what makes him an anthropologist, is what makes him someone who's so studied, so cultured, and who understands himself more than Drake will ever, because he's not trying to be anything else. He's just being himself. He's being of his community. He's being of LA, being just that guy, being that person who understands his culture, understands the plights and tribulations, but also wants to be authentic to who he is, no matter what the stage is. That was special for everybody watching. Whether you're in the culture or out of the culture, you should know that was spiritual more than it was lyrical. But it was spiritual and lyrical. You get me? Mad ting, But what were your thoughts on it? There's a lot more I didn't even touch on. But that Super Bowl presentation, concert, whatever it was something special.
White people, I want to give y'all a quick shout out. Black people, y'all could stay too. Matter of fact, y'all need to stay, because y'all embarrassing yourselves in front of company. So y'all need to hear this. For tonight and tonight only, white people have separated themselves into exactly 2 parts. Perfect overt racism and perfect understanding of what Kendrick Lamar did. I have not seen one confused white person. I have not seen one white person say, it was boring, it was bad, it was mid. I've only seen them say all the bad stuff because Kendrick Lamar did what he did, or they're so enamored to the point where they're explaining 40 acres and a mule to Black people, which apparently needs to be done because there are Black people who are confused about what they saw. And for that, I'm confused for y'all. This man got the NFL to pay for a protest, and y'all are confused about what he did. You want a karaoke? He got the NFL to pay for a protest. And y'all wanted bops
You wanted to sing along to every lyric. You were confused about Samuel L. The minute Samuel L. Jackson pulled him and his top hat out, you should have clocked. You should have clocked it. You should have known what time he was on. Matter of fact, the minute they told you Kendrick Lamar was performing, you should have known what type of time he was gonna be on. But say you didn't know. The minute he said the revolution would be televised, you should have known. The minute you saw all black people on the stage, you should have known. It was not a performance, it was a protest. What do y'all not understand?
I love every single one of the speech that I have seen explaining the symbolism in Kendrick Lamar's performance. Thank God this is even happening. It's Black History Month, so what better time it is to learn more about history. I love how his performance is making a lot of people revisit history because they want to understand and know the meaning of some of the things that he presented during the halftime Super Bowl performance. And it's just very interesting and just a time to learn. And this is why I bring these videos to you guys, because not to only watch but as well learn history, because I feel like it is very important. So we are not here just to comment. I hope you guys are able to pick one or two, because I've seen so many comments, especially on TikTok, of people saying, what does this symbolism mean? I've seen a lot of people talk about this symbolism. What does it actually mean? And all of these together that I have been watching me a number of information. And yeah, I hope you guys are able to pick one or two from those stitches as well. And shout out to everyone in that stitch. Like, you guys are doing the Lord's work. Like, the Lord's work. Let me hear what you guys think about what the host said. And if you have anything to add as well, please in the comment section, just drop it in the comment section. I will be in the comment section. I will be reading, I will be learning, and I'm sure so many other people are as well. This comment said, just some few comments that I was able to gather. This person said he is a lyrical genius, does not get enough respect. He is amazing. I'm so hyped for his concert with Caesar. I get to go. I love how he's knocking the cultural and political things into the halftime show. I saw somebody said Kendrick Lamar's performance is giving talent, symbolism, blackness, and pettiness all in one performance. But one of the people that have been hating on this entire performance that I see, like a bunch of like MAGA people hating on this performance that I see, are not seeing it far, like they're not seeing it more than the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And it's literally more than that. This is the reason why videos explaining this is very important. And since it's Black History Month, we can as well just take our time to learn, because they just keep hating, saying it's the worst Super Bowl and all of that, like the worst one ever. People will never forget the symbolism in his performance ever, because it passed so many messages across to a point where if you're not really interested in learning the history, you can be overwhelmed, because there's a lot of things going on in that performance. This person said, oh, I caught the message. Genius. But did you notice the dancers were on hex and holes and triangles and squares? It was a game control stage. Then at the end, he said, game over. Brilliant. Genius. He put everything together. He knew what he was going to do. He even said they like to sue, but what gives a F? Like, he went ahead to do what he wanted to do, even though he know that there might be some fouls coming his way. Another person said, yet some people will say he did not play the it. He did what he thought was right in front of the president. That is a statement. Another one said the halftime performance is an onion, layers upon layers upon layers that have incredible, deep stories to tell every level. But it does continue to go deeper. This is one full body goosebumps. I tell you guys that I'm still going to keep watching videos of people explaining this performance, because so many points, so many histories being like brought back, so many things is being like brought back to people to understand and realize that that is actually a great performance. Because the last one I have here said, the sad thing is the people is calling out lack media literacy to understand it. And this is the reason why they are ranting about how that is the worst halftime show ever. That is the most horrible halftime show ever. Like, come on, sit down. It's Black History Month and learn and hear what Black people are saying. Did you enjoy the performance? Let me know in the comment section the parts that did it for you. I've seen some people talk about the parts that the minor parts, and I've seen so many people point out the part where he said Cedric, like in the camera and kind of cheek a little bit. People are pointing that out as well. But let me know your favorite part of the entire performance. For me, it's everything because it was a learning one for me. So let me know your own favorite parts in the comment section, and I'm going to see you guys in the next episode.